Welcome back. From the economy, let's switch to politics at the sub-national. We're joined on the program by Darlington Nwoju, is the APC spokesman in Rivers State. Mr. Nwoju, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, so literally everyone is counting down. Nigerians are counting down. 18th of September is 2 days from now, 48 hours to be precise, when the governor is expected to be reinstated after it was suspended. Give us your impression of what you make of that expectation.
Well, I think that a whole lot of expectations from Rivers people and by Rivers people that democratic structures be restored is one sure thing that any Democrat all over the world or around the world should clamor for, should hope for, should insist on. And so Rivers people are expectant, they expect that their governor comes to work. An accountable government should be in place because they do not feel a sense of ownership in the past 6 months. So that's what I think.
All right. For those of us who are political observers and watchers and take interest in these things, and from yours where you sit, what kind of a governor do you think that similarly Fubara will be coming back? Because from what we've seen, he's been tactically mobilized. Speaking politically here, the House of Assembly, significant, overwhelming majority is pro-Wike, who is his political godfather, whose fight with him led us to where we are. The issue around the sole administrator, literally appointing, disbanding, suspending every other person in the agencies and ministries and government, and appointing new persons, including RESEC, was still a controversial issue. The issue of a very controversial landmine-loaded local government election that was held that has all of Wike's lieutenants in charge. What kind of a governor do you think similarly Fubara will be?
Well, the thinking out there is that politically speaking, he's been castrated. And so it is, he has to do the rapprochement and try to exhibit plenty of maturity in order to get the other arm of government, that is the legislature, to work with him and to see how he can fulfill the time of his remaining mandate with Rivers people. I think that plenty of maturity is required and is expected for him to be able to maneuver the obvious landmines. I look at them as landmines because it's difficult to work in an environment that I would rather choose to see as quite or a bit toxic, if you like. So there has to be plenty of maturity, not only from the camp of the governor, but also the members of the House of Assembly, who, for all I care, have this particular set of assembly members have not lived up to expectations for the average man on the streets of Port Harcourt. And so I stand to be corrected. It might be politically tainted views, as in my own view, but I want to tell you for sure that for the average man on the street, there is that feeling that these guys have not really represented us, as it were. So I think that going forward, there should be plenty of collaboration from both arms of government so that the grass will stop suffering. The grass, being the people of Rivers State, they do not deserve the sort of thing that has happened to this state since October of 2023. And so they deserve fair representation, quality representation, good governance, accountability, transparency, and what we normally refer to as the democracy dividend. They deserve to have it. Rivers will deserve to have it.
Let me just ask you on the side, are you exhausted? You sound really exhausted. Is it me?
Yes, in fact, when I got the call for this interview, I was, in fact, for lack of a better word, yes, I agree, I accept that all the issues, the whole lot of issues, the cocktail of issues bedeviling the state, and also my political party, it gives a lot of worry, plenty of concerns that there are deeper issues that concern and should concern society, that the sort of politics that is being played, the political playbook in Rivers State is disheartening, not only disheartening, it is not one that I would wish my children to look at and say, that was part of this process. No, no, no. We should understand and realize as Rivers people that the state has been completely demarketed by political actors. And I think that this generation of politicians owe Rivers people and Nigerians apologies.
Rivers politics can indeed be exhausting, and some would say it's another study in, political engineering, if you like,
exactly,
unique type of politics in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wish to see plenty of research works on what is happening or what has happened in Rivers State. Yeah. I think universities should take interest in commissioning researches to understand what is actually playing out in Rivers State.
Now, you used a strong term earlier on that the suspended governor, who is returning hopefully by September 18, has been castrated politically. But what signs are there that relations between his government and officials, and of course the Wike loyalists in the State Assembly, have mended such that there'll be some stability going forward in Rivers State when he resumes?
Yes, that's where the maturity I spoke about earlier on, that's where it should come in. There has to be plenty of maturity in order to, because there is bottled up anger, and in politics, people do not easily forgive. People do not easily forgive. Forget about the media papering, or what you might call the pictures for the cameras and all that. All those photo ops amounts to nothing, because we do know that there is still plenty of bottled up anger from both ends. And so Rivers State, at the end of the day, we do not deserve what we are seeing today. And so I pray and wish and hope that the governor will be able to come out of this period, this very challenging period. I do not envy the governor at all. I do not envy him. And I wish that at the end of the day, he will come out stronger to serve the people of Rivers State for the remaining time of his mandate, hoping that in 2027, the state will be able to decide who should lead them going forward.
Mr. Awoju, let's talk about your party and then the fracture in your party. So we're all surprised to see persons we knew were not members of your party, but perhaps they joined your party before the election. Were not standard flag bearers in that election. I know a couple of them, so I'm not speaking to what I do not know. So 20 out of the 23 was won by the APC. But I don't think you were excited because perhaps your list was not the list that was presented to RISEC, or RISEC did not, I don't know how that is playing out. So what do you make of the fate of your party as far as the APC is concerned? Because Emeka Beke seemed to be having a run again with the national level, where he seemed to be losing out, and now he's trying to make a comeback with all of this fight, participated in election, but the candidates were not recognized. I guess that is in court. What is going to happen going forward now? Similarly, Fubara, we wish him well. It's his government. He knows how best he's going to relate with all of the landmines around him. But let's talk about your party.
Well, Geoffrey is quite worrisome. However, you said I wasn't happy. Who said so? My party has won in the first place. And so we leave it to the court to decide or determine which list should actually fly at the end of the day, because individuals or organizations have the rights to do whatever they think is right. But it is the duty of judicial officers to interpret what our laws say is correct. And so if persons for the sake of political correctness choose to assault our constitution, assault the constitution of our own political party and the Nigerian constitution, how is that my business? It is the business, the onus lies on the judiciary to now say at the end of the day, oh, Mr. A was right and B was wrong. Now, let me say this for the sake of emphasis, and even at the risk of sounding like a broken record. On the 22nd of November 2023, an assault on our constitution was committed by Alhaji Umaru Ganduje, and he chose to do this without any sense of decency. And so we called his attention to the fact that here is our party constitution, and you cannot either sidestep our constitution or even abrogate it at any point in time. And the claim was that they got the approval of the NEC, the National Executive Committee of our party. And we are very aware that whereas the NEC has powers to dissolve every other organ of the party below it, outside of the National Convention, and the NEC has powers to stand in and, as it were, utilize or implement what the convention or congress of the party should be implementing. However, there is no way you can have a NEC where you have more than 20 governors thereabout, Mr. President, Vice President, Senate President, Speaker of the House, and other former governors or former leaders of our party, and you want to tell me, you want to convince me that NEC gave an approval to you to dissolve validly elected, democratically elected executives of your party without you bringing to NEC a memo showing that you have ever called or set up a disciplinary panel or committee to investigate the activities of these individuals, right, and that no committee anywhere, I challenge anybody, sat anywhere to investigate what happened in River State and to reach to a conclusion that we should be kicked out of office. And you woke up one morning to tell Nigerians that the NEC sat and approved that you dissolve validly elected executives. I think that is an insult and assault to democracy, and it's an insult to the leaders of APC in Nigeria. How dare you say that? It means you are saying that the NEC of the party does not know the constitution of our party. I refer them again to Article 21, 22, and 23 of the APC constitution amended in March of 2022. It is very clear. There are steps, there are procedures, there are protocols that you must obey and respect.
Mr. Waju, clearly there are other deeper issues.
Any member.
Indeed, there are deeper issues beyond just the state of emergency. So some of the things we see now go all the way back. Whether or not there will be some sort of restitution or fixing those issues is another thing left to be seen. But I want to get a clearer picture of what the political structure in River State looks like right now? I mean, we hope that the governor will be reinstated from September the 18th. It looks like it. But what will the political, interplay look like? So the governor still in the PDP, right? We have the FCT minister also in the PDP. We have the APC winning most of the elections, the local government elections. The lawmakers in the states are still members of the PDP, in spite of what we saw them do. So who will be the political leader of the APC and the PDP in River State now? Who will be calling the shots in that sense, Mr. Nwoju?
Well, I would choose to answer this way. If I were the governor of River State, on my return on Thursday, I would announce my defection to the All Progressive Congress. I think the governor should join the APC, and we would gladly receive the governor into our party.
So would he then be the leader? Would he then be the leader of the APC if he joins the APC?
Is that?
Would he then be the leader of the APC if he joins the APC in the state?
The convention of our constitution.
Just at the point he was going to respond. But we'll try to reconnect with Mr. Nwoju so we get a better picture, really, of the political structure in River State. So we'll reconnect. But Jeffrey, what are your predictions? Or what do you see playing out? Okay.
Mr.
Nwoju is back.
Yes.
All right. Please, can you start from the convention bit again, because we lost you there. No, it's frozen again.
Oh dear. Mr. Nwoju, can you hear us? We'll reconnect with him so that we get to the custom with that conversation and move on to other conversations. But it's an important conversation. It's an important question you've asked. I call Rivers politics the conundrum of absurdity. The more you look, the more, for lack of a better word, crazier it becomes. But let's take the thoughts of Mr. Nwoju. Mr. Nwoju, just start again and land on your thoughts, because the connection issues we had, we couldn't hear you clearly.
Yes, I was trying to say that if I were the governor of Rivers State, I would immediately announce my defection into the All Progressive Congress. And we would gladly receive him into our political party if I were the governor. Because by the convention of our party, if he joins the All Progressive Congress today, he becomes leader of the party.
But there's something that we're not talking about, which we really should, Mr. Nwoju, and that's the aspect of the opposition demanding accountability, that the sole administrator must be probed, particularly with regards to his management of Rivers' budget. Recall that the budget was increased by about 365 billion naira, with questions on aspects of the increase of the budget, and that goes to the APC-led government with question marks on why the budget was increased. I'd like you to speak to this, particularly as Rear Admiral Ibokete Bass prepares to hand over.
Oh dear.
It appears as if Mr. Nwoju has frozen again.
I think we'll just...
Officially, the APC...
Yeah, go ahead, Mr.
Nwoju. I got your question.
Yeah.
I got your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was trying to say that APC never or has not demanded officially for Mr. Ibokete Bass to give account of his stewardship for the past 6 months. However, you recall that the budget approval he got it from the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And there is a committee from the House of Representatives oversighting the period of emergency. And so I do expect that that committee should be able to do its due diligence, come up with a report, and tell Nigerians what they found out. It is one of their core mandates in the business of legislation and lawmaking. So they should be able to tell Nigerians what they discovered, because there are a few issues, that leave so much to be desired, that attend to procurement. And so we would like to know if the Procurement Act 2017 was clearly obeyed or respected in award of contracts by Ibok Etebas. It is not for me as Darlington, spokesperson of APC in Rivers State, to demand. But Rivers people believe that there should be a measure of accountability. And I think that, in my opinion, resonates with majority of reasonable Rivers people.
So let me ask you that question, Mr. Nwoju, as we wind down. I don't like mincing words. Nyesom Wike, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, by action, what I mean by action, by what he's been able to pull off politically, is leading the APC and the PDP in Rivers State. And my reason is simple. The governor is PDP. He's his political godson. Significant, overwhelming majority of the House of Assembly are loyal to him, and they're still in the PDP, though they attempted to leave. But that has, you know how it got to the Supreme Court. Now, his men are literally the ones in charge of the local government, and 20 of them are of the APC. How does the APC, your group, intend to manage the future of the APC in the state? In 1 minute. Okay, we understand Darlington Nwoju is the publicity secretary of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State. I hope we could have I just was hoping we could get that excerpt from him as we wind down, but apparently the network, perhaps the rains, is playing a fast one on us, guys. So I was saying that when it comes to Rivers State, it's a conundrum of absurdity. And the reason why it's difficult to interpret what is playing out is that from the action of the president, which we see as unconstitutional, the Supreme Court has, I don't know whether they're evasive, or I don't know what is going on with the Supreme Court as far as that is concerned, or the issue was, to the best of my knowledge, is reinstituted, but nothing has been done. The emergency has come to an end. We expected that that should have gotten an expedited action, because nobody is sure anymore or what, because when you look at the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there are only 4 ways a governor can leave office. His tenure ends, he resigns, he's impeached, or death. Outside those 4 ways. And the reason why this constitution is very strong on those kind of things, because of the political implication of touching those kind of scenario. I have never argued about the state of emergency. People have argued, because in 305, the constitution is clear that if there is a sense and a strong sense of that level of instability, preemptive action can be taken. So I've never argued, because people have said it doesn't hit the threshold of instability. But suspending the president was wrong. I disagree with him on that. It's unconstitutional from where I sit, from my own enlightened opinion. So that's why whatever happens from then on, cascading down, is confusing. Sole administrator, I don't know where he exists in the law. He's not known to us. He's not known to anything. We don't have him anywhere. So whatever action he has taken, now even conducting an election swearing. So there's a layer of issue in Rivers State that has affected all of this situation. So that conundrum of even the timeline of the election, so it's a mess. But we hope they can find a way to move on as a state. And I don't know what kind of governor it's going to be, but clearly it did look like a lame duck situation for him, because the landmines are all over him. He moves against anything that's been put in place, like, oh, you've broken the peace accord. Good luck to them. But the most important thing we want in Rivers State is peace. How the politicians want to do their own is a different category. I don't care about what politicians do with themselves. I care about what the law says, because that's the only way we can have a sane society. But we wish them well. So Darlington Nwoju, I hope we can get you back, and we hope for Rivers State to get out of these murky waters.
Yeah, perhaps we could get his closing thoughts. We hear Mr. Nwoju is back. Jeffrey was speaking to what the future looks like. Seconds, yeah. Well, I was asking about accountability. We didn't expect you to say anything different. But Mr. Nwoju, you can give us your closing thoughts on the situation in Rivers before we head over to our next conversation. Mr. Nwoju, in 60 seconds.
I think the network doesn't want us to talk anymore so much. But we'll take a break, guys. And when we come back after the break, we hope to catch in with our correspondent, Austin Okonokpa, and let's review what played out at the World Athletics Championship in just a moment. Stay with us.